Commissioner Ansier, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'd like to call to order the April 11th, 2024 regular meeting of the Naperville Park District Board of Commissioners. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Monica, can we get the roll call, please?
President Gibson?
Here.
Vice President Ruffing? Here. Commissioner Ansier? Absent. Commissioner Jacks?
Here.
Commissioner Janner?
Here.
Commissioner Risvold?
Here.
Commissioner Thompson?
Here.
President Gibson, I've been informed that Commissioner Ansier has requested to participate remotely due to illness.
Move to allow remote meeting participation of Commissioner Ansier per Section 7 of the Open Meetings Act.
Second, Thompson.
Can we get a roll call, please?
Vice President Ruffing?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
Commissioner Risvold?
Yes.
President Gibson?
Yes. All right, thank you. Commissioner Ansier, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome, great, thank you. All right, this evening I'm pleased to have the opportunity to recognize an individual for their dedication to public service and demonstration throughout their career as they prepare to retire. Would Officer Arzania Williams, also known as Zook, join me along with Park Police Chief Steve Schindelbeck and Mayor Scott Worley and Naperville Chief of Police Jason Aries at the podium? All right. Officer Williams, as you prepare to retire, we're honoring your distinguished career in public service that spans your time at the City of Naperville and the Naperville Park District. While you started your career as a police officer with the City of Naperville in the mid-1980s, for the past decade, you have served as one of our own park police officers. In speaking with some of your colleagues, past and present, they spoke of your affinity for mentoring and training officers and your ability to easily develop camaraderie with your fellow officers. Your calm yet confident demeanor and your subtle sense of humor also helped establish you as a trusted and knowledgeable resource. We appreciate all these important qualities that you've brought to our park police operations, and you will be really missed. Before I turn the mic over to the Mayor and Chief Aries, Chief Schindelbeck and I have a couple of items to present to you. And I'll start with this. On behalf of the Park Board and staff, I'd like to present you with this certificate of recognition that reads as follows. The Naperville Park District Board of Commissioners and Executive Director are pleased to recognize Officer Arzania Zook Williams for his dedication and service to our community over the past decade as a park police officer. We thank him for his contributions and wish him the best in retirement. Here's this, and then Chief Schindelbeck, and if you'd like to say a word. You can use the podium if you'd like. Some police tape on that.
Well, there's some irony there because Zook was in charge of our evidence for years, so we figured it was only fitting that we would wrap his present in evidence tape.
I just cut my fingernails. Oh my goodness.
So Zook, this is on behalf of the officers that have been working with you for the last 10 years here at Naperville PD. Turn around and... So we put together a shadow box for him to recognize his 10 years at the Park District to go along with the shadow box he would have gotten from Naperville. And this is a little extra that maybe we didn't spend all on that, so we want to make sure it went to a good cause. But on behalf of the guys that I work with, I truly appreciate all the effort that you put into this department. I mean, I knew when I took over, it was amazing that whenever I needed somebody, if I was short, you were one of the first persons we called because you were always available and you were always willing to come in and work regardless of whether it was a weekend or a special event or even a holiday. And that, trust me, that didn't go unnoticed by myself and the other guys with you who didn't have to work those holidays or those weekends. So again, appreciate very much all the effort that you put into this.
Thank you.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thanks for allowing me to be here. So we've talked about it. Zook Williams has spent 40 years of his life serving the Naperville community. I'm just going to give 40 years. That's for you, buddy. Policing is easily one of the most noble professions that exist in this country. And even in a wonderful town like Naperville, we see a lot of great things, but we see a lot of tough things too. I mean, that's 40 years of tough cases, and I call it the mental trauma we go through as police officers. So to give that for 40 years is so, so commendable. And I'm here today. When he retired, there was one award, and I'll just say we, even though I wasn't in that then, I'll just say we because it represents the department, that we missed on in giving him. And it's one of the highest honors you can get at the police department. It's the Meritorious Service Award. So for everything you've done in your role as a Naperville police officer, I mean, this man was a detective, patrol officer, and gave blood, sweat, and tears to this community in 2 different roles of law enforcement. For everything you've done, Zook, you have more than earned this Meritorious Service Award, and I'm here to write that today and give you a Meritorious Service Award on behalf of myself and your brothers and sisters at the Naperville Police Department. Thanks for everything you did and all your service to the community. It's very much appreciated, my friend.
Well, life comes around full circle, and I've had the honor of knowing Zook for all of his police career. I was a police explorer when Zook was hired at the Naperville Police Department, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you were the first person of color to be ever hired by the Naperville Police Department. You broke barriers in our city, and they will always be remembered for the quality of work and your dedication to everything you've done to serve our community. As we looked forward through your career at the Naperville PD and then onward at your Park District police career, where I also worked side by side with you, I had the honor of watching you late in your career continue your dedication to the community. And what always inspired me, especially seeing somebody who had so much experience, was your demeanor with people, how you listened to them, how you made them laugh, how you treated others, and how you put yourself out there at a time in your career when you chose service over self. That's what sums up your career, Zook, and I'll be honest, it's been a true honor to serve with you all these years. God bless.
Thank you.
And I have something special for you. On behalf of a grateful city, thank you for your courage.
Thank you. Oh, I was afraid of that.
We're not going over all the stories, right?
You know, working at the Park District Police Department, I came here and oh, this is going to be a nice retirement gig because it's a low-pressure job working for the Park District. And I found that for police departments, This department is so service-oriented, and that we are out there making sure that our residents have a good time at our facilities. So, yes, we do see some bad things, and yes, I've been involved in things that I never expected a Park District officer to do, such as when we had the civil unrest in town. We were side by side with our brothers at the Naperville Police Department on the front lines. When the tornado hit the south side of Naperville, I was working that night, and we were down there, myself and another officer, assisting the city with relocating the residents and doing scene security, keeping people from getting electrocuted on the down electrical wires. So it's been it was unexpected that I would be doing stuff like this for the Park District. But the Park District is such an integral part of this community that we strive to make life better for all our citizens. And it doesn't matter what particular government agency is, we serve that same purpose. And, they were asking me, can you think of some memorable calls you've been on? I can, but I can't repeat them in public. So I'll just leave it at that. And I want to thank everybody for giving me this opportunity. The city of Naperville opened its doors to me. The citizens, after some time, opened their hearts to me, and I've never been held back with my opportunities to advance in the city. And this is one of the best places to be in the country. And I hope you guys don't take that for granted. We have a wonderful place to live and a wonderful place to work. And with that, I'm glad to have been part of it.
Do you want to hold any of it in the picture, maybe? The shadow box? All right. Thank you, everybody who came to recognize Officer Williams. We will move on to our reports and updates. Oh, sorry, thank you. Matters from the public. Monica, do we have any matters from the public?
We do not.
All right, thank you. Okay, reports and updates. Riverwalk met yesterday. Sorry, I'll give it a minute. No. Okay, the Riverwalk Commission met yesterday. We talked about the new South Gateway extension and signage on the corner over there on Washington and Martin Avenue. We also talked about adding some new benches along the Riverwalk to improve accessibility. North Central College and the ACTF, the task force in Naperville, did a report, a walkthrough on the Riverwalk on ways we can make it more accessible, and one of the takeaways was adding some new benches. kind of around, right down there in the lower level, because the seat wall's too high to make it accessible. So hopefully over the next couple months, there will be some new ADA improvements along the Riverwalk. The Eagle Street Gateway, they are still working on the bids for that, so that may be delayed. And then the next meeting for the Riverwalk Commission will be May 8th, 7:30 a.m. at the Naperville Municipal Center, downtown Naperville. All right. Next up, Finance Committee.
No report, but we do have our next meeting scheduled for April 30th.
Thank you. Legislative Committee?
Yes, we have our next meeting scheduled for April 25th, right here at Fort Hill for 5:30 p.m. before our regular meeting.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Thompson. Parks and Rec Committee?
I'll go ahead, Commissioner Ansier, if that's okay. I'll just throw out the report real quick. Director Schutz updated us on the incoming intergovernmental agreement that we'll see with DuPage County, who is graciously considering a $60,000 grant for the permeable paver parking lot at our community gardens. We are working with Upland Design in terms of our OSLAD grant prep. Staff has identified Nike Park as a great option to apply for that, and that could include updates such as trails, pavilions, more shade for our cricket players, and then possibly several new synthetic turf fields with potential money coming from Little League. We also discussed a potential future mural at Rothermill Skate Facility. We heard about bridge solutions at Walnut Ridge Park and the upcoming Knock Park permeable paver parking lot. Spring registration is up. That summer day camps are still hugely popular. We've got some great park projects coming this spring. Of course, I'm sure you're going to hear this a couple times. Our shred event's coming up on April 20th at Centennial Beach. Speaking of Centennial Beach, it's almost fully staffed for the season. Our beach memberships are up, especially with seniors. That's awesome. Fort Hill's busy, and then our indoor space needs focus groups are ongoing. The golf is boogieing. Naperbrook's seen some great numbers. Sorry. Our first tournaments this weekend, and then we heard about the irrigation system update, the Marie Todd practice facility, and the well work and our mower situation. With parks, of course, there's been some weather challenges recently, but kudos to staff for being so awesome and getting the fields as ready as possible. And then there may be a new approach to our Remembrance Tree program and some software updates. And then finally with marketing, Q1 sponsorship is right on track, a slight update from last year, and we have some fun ribbon cuttings coming. And that is all for Parks and Rec.
Thank you, Vice President Ruffing. Next up is the President's Report. April 21st through 27th is National Volunteer Week, established in 1974 by President Richard Nixon. This week was designed to recognize the impact that volunteers make in their communities and cities across the country. The volunteer spirit of Naperville never ceases to amaze me. There are so many people in our community who give so generously of their time and talent, and at the Naperville Park District, we're really appreciative of everybody who works with us and helps us accomplish our mission to promote healthy lives, healthy minds, and a healthy community. As the Naperville Park District, we rely heavily on a legion of volunteers who give their time to improve our parks, facilitate our programs, coach our youth teams, and support the hosting of special events throughout the year. On behalf of our park board and staff, we'd like to express our appreciation for the individuals and groups whose volunteer efforts have an important impact on the Park District and our ability to serve the recreation needs of our community. Current volunteer opportunities and information on how to get started volunteering with us can be found on our website. Next up is Executive Director Wilson's report.
Thank you, President Gibson. The Summer 2024 Summer Program Guide will be available digitally on the Park District website beginning Wednesday, April 24th. The program guide includes information on summer camps, highlights free community events, and popular summer destinations like Centennial Beach and Springbrook and Naperbrook golf courses, and includes registration information for fall soccer. Registration for summer programs begins at 8:30 a.m. on Monday, April 29th for residents. Registration for fall soccer begins at noon on Tuesday, May 7th for the Girls League, and on Wednesday, May 8th for the Boys League. Please note that registration for the district's wide variety of summer camps is already in progress. As Vice President Ruffing mentioned, the annual shredding event sponsored by the Naperville Park District and the Naperville Police Department will be held on Saturday, April 20th in the parking lot of Centennial Beach. Those wishing to shred documents may bring up to 2 full cardboard banker boxes or paper bags. Metal or plastic binder rings or clips or previously shredded paper will not be accepted, and containers must not exceed 10 pounds. The event will take place from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. or until the trucks are filled. While the annual shredding event is part of the Earth Week Naperville celebration, there are additional environmentally themed events and activities that are planned. Visit napervilleparks.org/Earth Week for details. And then lastly, a major initiative this year for the district is the completion of an indoor recreation space needs assessment, which will evaluate the current utilization of existing indoor facilities and opportunities for enhanced scheduling, as well as community interest, need, and support for future indoor amenities. The project team recently conducted a series of 8 resident focus groups with over 80 participants to begin gathering community input. Residents who expressed an interest in participating in the focus groups but were not randomly selected for the in-person sessions or who were unable to participate received the focus group questions electronically and are in the process of submitting responses. Themes identified from the focus groups will assist in the development of a community survey on indoor recreation space, which will be conducted this summer. The district will also host open house events in the coming months to gather additional input from residents. The Indoor Recreation Space Needs Assessment Project is scheduled to be completed this fall. Additional information on all of our programs, events and facilities, and other Naperville Park District news can be found online on our website at napervilleparks.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Director Wilson. Next up, we have the Treasurer's Report.
Move to approve the February 2024 Treasurer's Report, which includes Commissioner's expenses totaling $358 for attendance at the 2024 IAPD IPRA Conference.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Ruffing?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Ansier?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
Commissioner Risvold?
Yep.
President Gibson?
Yes. Monica, would you please read the consent agenda?
Item 6.1, approve March 2024 disbursements in the amount of $928,118.05. 6.2, approve March 2024 disbursements made through the Bank of America Purchasing Card Program in the amount of $304,306.89. 6.3, approve March 2024 FinTech disbursements in the amount of $1,323.80. 6.4, approve March 2024 customer refunds in the amount of $835. 6.5, approve March 14th, 2024 regular meeting minutes. 6.6, approve March 14, 2024 executive session closed meeting minutes. 6.7, accept the base bid of Denler, Inc. in the amount of $55,276.16 is the lowest responsive and responsible bid for the 2024 district-wide bio-based asphalt rejuvenator application project, and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for a total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $58,039.97. 6.8, accept the base bid of Patriot Pavement Maintenance in the amount of $32,315.99 is the lowest responsive and responsible bid for the 2024 district-wide asphalt emulsion seal coating project, and to authorize staff to carry a further 5% contingency for total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $33,931.80. 6.9, award the contract for the Seeger Park Bridge Replacement Project to M&M Peters Construction Company in the amount of $78,200, and to authorize staff to carry a further 2% contingency for total authorized expenditure for the project in an amount not to exceed $79,764. 10, award the contract for the 2024 bus transportation services for camp programs to Safeway Transportation Services Corp. in the amount of $63,195. 6.11, approve resolution 2404, promoting sustainable outdoor lighting practices. 6.12, approve ordinance 1052, declaring property outlined in Exhibit A as surplus. 6.3, approve ordinance 1054, authorizing termination rider to 2017 lease agreement between the Naperville Cemetery Association and the Naperville Park District. That is it.
Thank you, Monica. Are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately? All right.
Move to accept consent agenda items 6.1 through 6.13.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice President Ruffing?
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Ansier?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacks?
Yes.
Commissioner Janner?
Yes.
Commissioner Risvold?
Yes.
President Gibson?
Yes.
Move to approve consent agenda items 6.1 through 6.13.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Thank you. No unfinished business. So on to new business, human capital management system.
Good evening. Is this on? Okay. This is the first time with the new system that I've had the opportunity to speak. So as I previously mentioned at the February 22nd meeting, the district's Finance and Human Resources Departments released a human capital management system request for proposal in October 2023. Staff initiated the search for a new provider to gain efficiencies and to support our recruiting and retention efforts. The district has been using the same HCM, which is that human capital management, providers for nearly 20 years. While the providers have made improvements over the course of our relationships, their current arrangement is inefficient and cobbled together due to the use of multiple providers. We've received 8 proposals in response to the RFP, and the finance and HR departments evaluated the submittals and selected 3 companies to interview and to demo. The interviews were 5 hours long and included a cross-functional team. We did our due diligence. So beyond HR and finance staff, the full interview team included Director Emeritus from IT, a Parks Administrative Assistant, and a Parks Operations Manager, a head golf professional, and the golf course superintendent, so we could gather feedback from both sides of golf operations. From recreation, we had representation from 3 levels within the department. We had a superintendent, a program manager, and a program coordinator. And the trades and custodial manager participated from our planning department. So following the interviews, feedback from the cross-functional team, and additional questions and reference checks, HR and finance staff selected to move forward with iSolved. The company has been responsive to our questions, and references for the company and their platform have been positive. Our respective departments look forward to using one platform to managing payroll, time and attendance, applicant tracking, onboarding and training, and to limiting a large number of Excel spreadsheets that are across the district. At the April 25th board meeting, we will ask the board to approve authorization for Executive Director Wilson to sign the iSolved contract. Questions that I can answer?
Director Quigley talked earlier in the Parks and Rec Committee meeting about also replacing a 20-year-old system for management of parks. Does this vendor have a module that does that, or would these 2 systems talk to each other, or are you still not?
Ours would be completely separate. It's more of ours is more getting the work in and work out to staff.
So it doesn't really integrate with the system. Okay.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. Thank you.
The next regular meeting of the Park Board of Commissioners will be April 25th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. at the Fort Hill Activity Center.
Move to adjourn the April 11th, 2024 regular meeting.
Second.
Voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you.
Aye.